Can you hear me, Gabe? Cool. All right. Awesome. All right. So, welcome everyone to our third Parent University. Before we get going, I'm going to actually paste this link in our box, so in our chat box. So, throughout our presentation, if you have a question, jump in. You can leave a comment in the comment box in Zoom, or if you would rather, you can use the link that I just put in the chat box to leave a message, and I'll be sure to answer it. But let's go ahead and let's get started. So let me hit present. Let me go out. All right. All right, fantastic. All right. So before we get going, I thought it would be kind of interesting just to kind of see where everybody is coming from. So I'm going to give everyone like a minute and go ahead using the chat box in Zoom if you would. Just tell us what school your student or students go to. If you're a Colonial School District staff member, go ahead and type in the chat box. Let us know what building you're working in. And I'll give you guys a minute to do that. All right. All right, moving on. All right, so real quickly, our agenda. All right, welcome. We have one grandparent from William Penn. Fantastic, welcome. Glad you're able to join us. So yeah, I'll monitor the chat box if you have a second. Go ahead and pop in and just let us know where you're from. It's kind of nice to share and see where which school they're coming from. So real quickly, our agenda for tonight it's really going to center on securely home for parents. And we're actually excited to actually be able to begin to share this app with you. I've been fortunate enough to actually use the app here for a few weeks with my own student who goes to Colonial, and I've really found it beneficial, especially with remote learning. So I'm excited to share it with you tonight, as well as get you set up and give you an overview on how you can use Securely Home for your own student. But like I said, our agenda, we're going to just quickly go over an overview of the Parent University. Real quickly, we're going to share an overview of some of the ed tech support options that we have in the district. Again, the big part of tonight is really going to center on Securely Home, and then we'll have a Q&A at the end of our presentation. So I see everyone jumping in the chat box, so this is great to see. Again, welcome everyone. So real quickly, the purpose of our Parent University, and this is the third one that we've had, it's really to provide families with support and guidance around ed tech. And not just ed tech during remote learning, but also face-to-face. So as part of our Parent University, we will be doing weekly Zoom series. And we'll be starting those weekly Zoom series every Wednesday, starting at 4:30. And we ask parents to be sure that you have signed up at least once on our district website. And I'll show you real quickly. If you come to our district website and you come to parents, then select the parents option. And you're going to notice it's a little hard to see on my screen, but there's a Parent University page. Just be sure to go to that page and again, sign up once. And then each week we'll send you an invite for our Parent University. The other thing I'd like to share with you on the Parent University is the link that you see here. We're going to move it up to the top so it's a little bit more prominent. But definitely keep your eye on this document. And this document's going to, real briefly, it's going to list all of the different support options that we've created for families in Colonial. So we have a family IT tech ticket. We have a phone number you can call for support. We have an ed tech support form. We have an option where parents can even do virtual Zoom office hours. So if you want to have a one-on-one call with one of our members of our ed tech team for support, you can sign up using the link that we provided here in this document. And then last, the really nice part of this document is we're going to be sharing throughout the Parent University different resources for each of these different series. And kind of what you see in front of you on my screen We've already loaded the presentation that we're going to share tonight. Later on, probably tomorrow, Gabe's doing a great job. So big shout out to Gabe for helping out with this. He's been uploading the video to the YouTube channel. And then we also have some resources for you as well. So for tonight, since we're going to be concentrating on Securely, we've already added some helpful resources to help you as you begin to use Securely Home for your own student. All right, we'll go to the next one. This is what I just covered. Where do I go for EdTech support? Again, go to that Parent University page, click on that link I just shared. A second way that you can get to that same document, if you're on a Colonial Chromebook, if you come down to the bottom on your student's Chromebook, you're going to notice there's a Google Doc that says Family EdTech Support Options. So click on that, and again, it's going to take you to this document that you see here. All right. All right, this is what I'm excited about. And we actually had a few of you ask about it last week, so I hope you're just as excited as I am. So for tonight, really the purpose of our Parent University for this evening is really around giving you a clear overview of what is called Securely Home Parent. And what Securely Home Parent is, it's an app that you can download on your smartphone, and it's really an app that's really designed to keep your students safe while they're online. One of the things that we've talked with you about over these past 3 sessions is around the importance of using a Colonial Chromebook, which you'll see here. But this only works if a student is using a Colonial Chromebook. So if you haven't requested a Colonial Chromebook, we're definitely going to recommend that you take a minute, go to that Colonial EdTech options, and submit an EdTech ticket right here for a Chromebook. And a member of our IT staff will reach out to you, and they'll set up a time where you can come in and select, or you can come in and pick up your device. So what does a Securely Home app do? Why is it important? Well, I think probably for me, I think one of the best things about Securely Home app is that for parents, you can now begin to see what your students are doing on our district Chromebooks. Securely Home app gives you the ability to look at literally every website that your student is going to. Additionally, I think one of my favorite features of the Securely Home app is it also gives you the ability to control your student's screen time. And I'm going to be showing you a preview of how the app works, but real simplistically, using the app, you can pause the device. So if you want to end your student's access to the internet on our Colonial Chromebook, you can literally, with a touch of a button, you can pause their access to the internet. Additionally, you can create schedules. So for example, at bedtime, if you want to say, Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. until the next day at 7 a.m., the student's not able to go onto the internet. You can do that really, really easily using the Securely Home app. Additionally, another favorite feature of ours at the Gavin household is you also have the ability to block websites. So I know probably a lot of you would agree, you probably have caught your students maybe not making the best choices sometimes during the school day with regard to maybe what websites they visit. I'll give you an example of my own student. One day I caught him watching YouTube when he was supposed to be paying attention in a Zoom meeting. And what Securely Home app lets me do is I can actually block that website really easily in a matter of seconds. And then I can also delete the block if I want to let him get onto YouTube, because YouTube is appropriate at appropriate times, right? Additionally, there's a lot of other options, and we'll go through some of them. But again, my hope is that you guys are as excited as I am to learn more about Securely Home app. All right, so let's go to our next screen. So I think the question probably a lot of you might be asking is, how do I request access to the Securely Home app? So what we're going to ask that you do is I'm going to open up this link and I'm going to paste this link into our chat box. So if you open up the Zoom chat box, you can click on the link, or if you want to type this in, maybe if you're on YouTube right now, if you want to type bit.ly/colonial parent access, what that's going to do is it's going to open up this Google form. And we're actually going to use the same Google form that we used last week for securely parent access. But what we're going to ask that you do is just briefly fill out your student's last name, your student's first name, your student ID, the building, your name, of course, and then your email. So I'm going to give you a minute to do that, and then I'll explain briefly what the next steps are after we have you fill out that form. All right, let's see when this comes up. Okay, so what's going to happen after you submit that request is within 24 to 48 hours, we're going to send you an email. And in that email, we're just going to let you know that, hey, your account's been created. And what we're going to ask that you do, and we're going to send you this document as well. But what we're going to ask that you do is we're going to ask that you complete the directions that are in this document here. And again, we're going to email this to you. So let me just real quickly show you how this works. Let it load and let me zoom in a little bit. A little bit easier on your eyes. So again, the first step is you're going to request access, which you've done. And then 24 to 48 hours, we're going to send you an email to let you know that your account is set up and it's ready to go. And we're going to send you this document. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to either the App Store or you're going to go to the Google Play Store and you're going to download the app called Securely Home app. The next thing you're going to do, and they make it really easy, all you're going to do is you're going to enter in this same email that you just gave us in that Google form. And then you're going to say, I want instant access. And what Securely is going to do is it's going to email you a link to your email, and you'll click on that link, and it will, since you've already downloaded the app, it will open up the app on your phone, and it will give you instant access to the Securely Home Parent app. All right, and these directions kind of walk you through the steps exactly that I just described. And then what it's going to do, or what we're going to ask you to do, just to kind of get you familiar with using the app, and I'm going to go through some of these features, is there's a really great video that Securely shared that really does a nice job walking parents through all of the different great features that this app has. And it's less than an 8-minute video. And the presenter does a really nice job kind of giving you an overview. So definitely check that out. But for tonight, we definitely also wanted to share what it looks like so we can give you kind of a preview on what it looks like as a parent. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up my app. All right, here it goes. Let me bring this over. Oops. All right. So this is what it looks like this is what it would look like on an iPhone or an iPad that I'm on. You're going to notice at the bottom of my screen here, you're going to notice the icon that says Securely Home. So I'm going to open that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you kind of, my top tips, at least that we like in our own household. And the first one is really what's called the activity feed. So when you first come in, you're going to notice you have an activity feed, you have a rules option, you have a flagged activity button, and then you have an offline schedule button. But the one that I want to talk to you first about is what's called the activity feed. So if I click on the activity feed, let's see if it loads. What this is going to show me is literally every website that my student has gone to in the past 30 days. It will also give me information, for example, if the website was blocked. Sometimes it does that where it doesn't show up with all of it. So sometimes you just have to be patient, but it does come up. It does look, and I actually have a screen already waiting for you. So it looks like this when you come in as a parent. So I click this activity feed, and it'll give you literally every website that your student's gone to in the past 30 days. So it's a really great tool for parents, again, when you're thinking about monitoring your student and if they're using their devices appropriately. What you'll notice is I've actually gone into and I've blocked certain websites. You can kind of see here, it shows me when my student tries to go to the websites that I've already blocked. So it's a great tool as you're working with your students on what appropriate tech uses. You can let them know that you are monitoring their technology uses. Another nice thing, and I can't show you on my screen, but you'll notice there's three little buttons here, and if you click this button, it will actually let you open the site up. So this is great. Like if you want to preview, you're thinking to yourself, why is my kid going to that site, and is it a safe site? You can actually click these three little buttons. It will take you to the actual website. What's nice about that is you can actually copy the URL and you can put it into that blocked area I'm going to show you in a minute. So if it's a site that's not appropriate, you now have the ability to go in and actually block that website. So let me go back out. So that would be probably my first tip. My second tip is what are called rules. So if you look on my screen here, you'll notice there's a rules button. What's nice about the rules button is you as a parent can put additional rules on what your kids can access at home. You'll notice, and I know it's a little faint and I apologize, it's a little easier if you're using it on your device. There are certain ones that are blocked. The district blocks them. You don't have the ability to unblock them. However, we do want to give you more advanced tools if you want to block other things. Like for example, you'll see there's a social media option. This is up to you. I mean, there's obviously appropriate times to use Facebook or Instagram, and then there's not appropriate times. But you can actually click the button and you can block it. All right. So you have control over certain categories. So you can block social networking, streaming media, games, up to you. Now, my favorite part about rules is you'll notice right here what's called sites. What I like about sites is you as a parent, you can actually go in and you can actually add websites, and you'll see there's a little add website option here. You can actually type in the websites that you want to block when your students are at home. Now, here's the caveat. Right now, since we're doing remote learning, parents can block websites that might be being used during the school day. So there might be times where you do need to unblock YouTube. And to do that, all you do is you just come over to the right here where this little trash can is. I can just delete it and you see it go away. I just type in YouTube. There's actually two links you want to do for YouTube. It's m.youtube and then youtube.com. And I just added it. And again, my kid's making appropriate choices and I want to let him go on YouTube. I just hit the little trash can. And you can see how fast that is. So that's my second tip. All right, my third tip that I really like about Securely Home is Securely Home has what's called a flagged activity. And what it will do is it will flag and bring to your attention any type of occurrences where students are searching for things like self-harm, or they're engaging in either bullying behavior or violence. And so I'm going to click flagged activity. Fortunately, I don't have anything from my student yet. I mean, he's a third grader, so I've got some time. I'm sure it will happen. But what we want to show you with regard to the flagged activity is if you look in this upper left corner, there's a little what's called a hamburger button. And that will bring up some other options. It still brings up the activity feed, the flag, the rules, the offline schedule. But what we want to point out is what you see here is this account. So I'm going to click that. And you're going to notice at the very top, there's a manage notifications. If I click that, make sure that you have this checked on. So what will happen anytime there's a flagged activity for self-harm or bullying, you're going to get a push notification to your device that you're using. Additionally, you'll also get an email. The other nice thing about Securely is it will send you weekly and sometimes daily emails. So definitely make sure that Securely is not going to your junk box. All right, so let's go back to home. All right, so let's go to tip number 4. So tip number 4 that I really like about Securely is what's called those offline schedules. So if I click on that, what I can do is I can create different schedules where I don't want my students accessing the internet on their Chromebook. And you're going to notice one of the ones that we have set up is bedtime. And if I click bedtime, you can kind of see I can set whether it's a school night, or I can do weekends as well. I can even do custom days where if maybe I don't want them on the device Thursday night, I can do that as well. And then I can hit save. And then the great thing about the offline schedules is that each day this will automatically be handled. You won't have to, as a parent, pause the device on your end. What's been great about this for us in our house has been, we haven't had to have a fight with our student. He literally, after a few times, he knows, he's not up till 10, I will tell you that. But he knows. We actually had one rule set up in March where he would come down in the morning at 6 and he would get on his Chromebook. And then when it was time for school, it kind of turned into a fight. So Monday through Friday, we set up a rule from 5 a.m. till right up about till when he had to get on his first Zoom. He couldn't get on his device. It cut out the arguments and everything else. So that's definitely one of my other favorite tools with Securely Home. The last tip that I'll share is if you look at the bottom here where my cursor is, you can also kind of like in demand, you can click on this button and you can pause the device with a click of a button. So I can click offline, and you'll notice here I can hit stop early. And then I can either pause or unpause the device. So those are my top tips. What I'm interested in now is, I want to move this out of the way and let me open up. What's your favorite feature that we just shared? So I'm going to launch a poll, and then I'm going to give you guys a minute or two, and then tell me what was the favorite feature that we just shared? Was it the activity feed, so your ability to see all the websites your students have visited? Is it the rules button where you can block websites or categories like social media? Is it the flagged activity where you can see if your students engaging in any cyberbullying or any self-harm? Is it, okay, I got it. Okay, cool. Is it offline schedule, or is it the pause button? So I see a couple of the ones coming. So the activity feed seems to be one of the more favorite options. Awesome. And again, monitor the activity feed. If you see that your student's going to a website that you find is not appropriate, just don't block it. That's one step. Again, copy the URL that you see right here, and then you can block it, but also talk to your student about why it's not appropriate for them to go onto that website. I think that the conversation is also important. All right, so let me go through these. We already went through them. All right, and that actually completes our presentation on Securely Home, the parent app. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop our recording. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up everyone's microphone. And if you have a question or you need some sort of support or help, I'm going to stick around on this call and hopefully answer any of your questions. But before I let you guys go, I do want to thank everyone again for coming out tonight. Our goal again with the Parent University series is really to help support you in our district, and we definitely hope that you're feeling that you are supported. Otherwise, that's all I have for tonight. Again, I want to thank you. Have a great night, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we'll be going over what is called home access. So we'll give you a preview of how you navigate, how you access home access. And then we're gonna build in a good chunk of time where you can come in if you have a question about either Securely Home, or you have a question about the Schoology parent access. We'll answer any of those questions. We'll kind of make it more of a real Q&A. So otherwise, have a great night. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to end the recording now, and then I'm going to open up everybody's microphones.